Kenny, it's looking like a staggered return for year groups later on this year.
Good morning, Pete. Yes, government sources have been speaking to the Sydney Morning Herald, and they say that kindergarten to year 2s will be going back first, along with year 11s, and then in the second staggered stage, year 6s will return to make it easier for them to transition to high school. This is a plan which is going to be talked over by health officials and education officials today before taken to Crisis Cabinet tomorrow for a decision. But the Chief Health Officer, Dr. Kerry, Chant, faced a budget estimates hearing on Monday and said it's too early to say what's going to happen in schools yet, but has linked kids going back to school with kids getting vaccinated.
What is the prospect of the school year returning?
Again, Mr. Secord, to some extent, those are matters that are currently being considered. Clearly, we have at the moment, ATAGI is considering the advice in relation to the 12 to 15-year-olds, and currently 16 and over can access the vaccine, and we would anticipate that if there's sufficient vaccine, that can really change the dynamic of risk.
Of the 818 new cases yesterday, more than 120 were aged under 9 and 160 aged 10 to 19. So there is a lot of infections coming from younger people, particularly from households in West and South West Sydney. But Dr. Gale, the Deputy Chief Health Officer, says that even though we are seeing a lot of infections in kids, the rate of hospitalisations is much lower. But Angelo Gavrielatos from the New South Wales Teachers Federation is not just worried about the kids not being vaccinated yet, but teachers across the state.
We still have issues with access and supply in many parts of the state. We are quickly approaching the end of this term, and there are still teachers who haven't been vaccinated because of access and supply issues.
Meanwhile, Kenny, the Premier, still refusing to reveal what freedoms are being considered once we hit 6 million vaccinations, which can't be far off.
And yes, well, I mean, the 6 million jab has probably already happened by now, and we're likely, maybe if not today, but tomorrow, to hear the Premier say we've reached that 6 million jab target. But she says any freedoms that are coming are going to be coming in September, and we're going to be hearing more about them at the end of the week. But Gladys Berejiklian was on the 7:30 report last night, where she was asked about what is the freedom that is coming.
Well, I'd always promised our citizens that during September there'd be one extra thing they can do so long as we hit the 6 million jabs by the end of August. So there'll be at least one extra thing our citizens can do next month in September.
And
but in
what's
terms
that likely
of
to
the
be?
Doherty
what
plan,
kind of a thing?
Well, our health experts are working on that.
Now, there's speculation that that one thing fully vaccinated people will be able to do next month once we reach that 6 million jab target is going to be going and getting a haircut at the hairdresser, as long as both parties are fully vaccinated. But again, we won't know details until the end of the week.
Kenny Heatley, thank you.